Hello beings, Roy here. Shell of a man labelled Roy. This is probably Finding Heaven number 10. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, there's a couple of reasons. I wanted to share a couple of things that have happened today. Be the love and find the heaven. That's something I wrote yesterday. I've just shared that today on the 3 platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook and X. And I've also just done one of my little, like a montage. Just put bits and pieces together on there, a couple of pictures and a poem. That relates to one of the pictures, the photo and the photos of the board. And in the board I reference like number sequences, as in like 0 and then 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, and lots of other things I'm thinking about there. But I actually only referenced 3 number sequences on the board. Anyway, talking about Fibonacci, and there's the poem, and it was just that idea of progression in creation and how I achieved it, as in the I am, if I am God, as you are God. Okay, stay with me. So, because remember, my perception is very straightforward. I see one creative mind that recreated the creation of the initial consciousness ad infinitum, which is all the souls. All right. So, and as we, we come back, and we come back to Christ mind being the consciousness, which is the child, if we perceive the power of the created element, that first awareness, yeah, and everything from that is the divine child. Okay, so anyway, so we're all the divine child, yeah, and as we rise in our sense of knowing, as we know things, we see truth, then we're elevated. And anyway, so it was quite bizarre. I put this on about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, maybe, I don't know, something like this. And then, just out of the blue, there was this idea that, where are we? Let's just put that back there. So look, this is a YouTube video. It's here. I'm just going to play it. Hold on. So if you heat this crystal, taurine, I don't know, whatever it was, your brain starts changing. But this is what was said in there. This is at the start of the video, okay? In a crystal, we have clear evidence of the existence of a formative life principle, okay? Now, I saw that on the screen, I thought, what? Then it went to the next bit, because my ears pricked up. Of the existence of a formative life principle, and though we cannot understand the life of a crystal, it is nonetheless a living being. And just as I've read that last part sentence to finish it off, I've had more influx, more coming in. Anyway, so just look at what he said. So I'm just waiting for it to come up again. In a crystal, we have clear evidence of the existence of a formative life principle. And I thought to myself, so, yeah, we do. No, we can't see the actual life in it as such. But yes, we can see clear evidence of the existence of a formative life principle. And the thing is, it's like, as I say you might expect, that just sounds a little bit wrong. As is possible, you can just look at what you have and not beyond it. Okay? So to me, in a crystal, we have clear evidence of the existence of a formative life principle displayed by the creator. Yeah? Because it's a process that is repeated. Yeah, this is what got me to it. I thought, oh, crystals, yeah. Yeah, structure, repeated formations, yeah? That's what we're talking about. Which relates directly to my poem that I posted with the little pictures around it and the picture of my whiteboard with stuff all over it, yeah, from a couple of years ago, whenever. There'll be a video for it when I was talking about the creation of universe, yeah, the one song. And yeah, so that just struck me. It's the idea of, well, you shouldn't be looking at life within something unless it's evident. What you can see is you can see a knowing and a creative knowing expressed in form, and the form is the crystal. The form is my shell. Yeah, shell of a man named Roy Thomas Dow. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, groovy. So that was good. Yeah, that was it really. It's very straightforward, eh? I think, I hope that someone's going to turn around and go, that's really interesting that you've seen that. Why don't I fund you so that you can have space to think and deliver all the truth to the one whole, so that there's greater unification. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, I wonder if there's anyone out there. Bill? Yeah, c'est très possible. Anyway, so all we need is love. Just to finish off then, I had calls recently. I wasn't going to do this in this way, but it's just so, it was such a stark reminder of how completely one other self can become completely embroiled and contained within the notion of illusion and play that is your belief systems that's leading you all over the fucking place. It's yeah, so I had cause to meet and engage in someone that was quite reactive in their display of fear. Later I will reach out to them and just explain what's going on with their soul. You know, what they might be able to use if they were aware of. And it's there, and as things are delivered unto us, it's a choice as to whether we embrace it or whether we let it go, whether we see value in it. This could be anything. So it's very easy for people to blind themselves. If you get a little bit of information about something and all of a sudden you are all knowledgeable and all powerful, which ultimately, of course, we are, yeah, all knowing, all present, all powerful. Yeah, that's what we are. But it's when we are as a whole being, yeah, not individuated, extended form, yeah, other self. So, and there are times when we can become so wrapped up in the belief of self, based on the ego feeding us and this boosting of the perception of power within our own carnal mind. And this is the mind of the beast, of the animal. Yeah, just understand how simple this is, will you? This is really important. So in the first instance of creation, we have the big G, right? And the big G, say, is there. And that's everything. That is everything. All that we can think of, everything, is contained within there for the sense of perception, whereas in reality, in the sense of perception, there are no limitations on any perception. Okay, so this is just for illustrative purposes. So there's the big G, and the big G creates things along the way from nothing to everything. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, so we've got everything from there and in between. And at this point here, we have this, which is other self. Because that moment, yeah, it's like, well, the first one is me, and then everything else after that is other me. Yeah, because I just continue creatively on and on and on. Limitless creation. Yeah, and things evolve, change, and where there is a sense of knowing, adapt. Yeah. So within G, within the big G, all the divine children are. Look in the mirror, and there you are. You're a self. Think about it. All this out here, it's just waveforms. Yeah. I'll definitely. I'm going to undo all my videos. I'll put links in this video to the others. So you can see. Anyway, so there you go. And the trick is, when we achieve Christ mind, that is the knowing sense of the first awareness. Oh, right. So that's from this initial, very, very initial I am. You know, there's no sort of arms or anything, is there? There's just an awareness. Yeah? Because it's interesting. We often illustrate and represent the other self in some form of radiant humanoid form, you know, like blue or orange with a grid work forming our sort of shape. But it's just one little white dot, isn't it, really, when you think about it? One microcosm of everything. Yeah? Because everything without is in an infinitesimally small location within. Because that's the point of focus. Right? Anyway, so once we get the bigger and bigger mindset in the sense of who and what we are, when we appreciate, yeah, don't have to worry about that, don't have to worry about that, don't have to worry about death, because the death here, in the sense of the shell, has nothing to do in the sense of the perception of self as soul, or the perception of self as other self here. Yeah, in this, where we work through process in a growing awareness sense to achieve the union of oneself, other self, with the original self, the big G. So, and that's like divine child, really, because you could say that God is that unknowing impetus that worked through the creation process to a point of inertia which created the first spark or wave as something to become aware of. And it's from that point everything has been built on. Because you think that all the various vibrations, yeah, some are stable, some aren't. In the sense of you start putting things together, that's why there's variation in what we call a periodic table. But everything is created. What's not stable is part of that catalytic process that ignites that spark of change. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Yeah, please like and subscribe, follow, donate if you find the Patreon thing, whatever it is, Patreon, I don't know what it is. Yeah, if someone wants to fund me so that we can open up this fully and share it out with the world, yeah, Bill. It doesn't cost a lot, it's virtually fuck all really. But it would mean that I could have greater access to people that could help with the speedier distribution, collation and distribution, if you will, or distribution in collated form, or distributed, collated, talking bollocks. Anyway, people can help me getting this shit out to people. Yeah, that's the thing, that's the idea. That's the goal. So, and yeah, I'll put links soon for coaching and stuff, maybe. Anyway, please like, subscribe, share, and do all that stuff. Love all round, babies. Yeah, stay safe.